plaintiff may proceed with opening statement.
Yes, Your Honor. Before I begin, may I have a moment to prepare the courtroom?
You may.
Your Honor, may I reposition myself to be the defense?
You may.
May I proceed?
You may.
May it please the court, counsel, on October 24th, 2015, Storm Chase LLC, a sponsor of an obstacle course race, knowingly put on an unsafe event. The defendant's choices spelled doom for my client, Alejandro Desafios. On that day, Storm Chase included an obstacle called the Abandoned Ship. Abandoned Ship features a 20-foot wall with cargo netting and ropes to climb. At the top, there's a narrow platform and a plank fashioned as a sort of plank on a pirate ship. From there, you jump back down into a deep pit of swirling, frigid, muddy water. You will hear that before the race, Storm Chase was warned that this obstacle was dangerous, but they didn't shut it down or make it any safer. On that day, Storm Chase was also packed with the racers and spectators. Any participant who tried to skip an obstacle was verbally harassed and screamed at by the Storm Chase employees. That afternoon, a group got to the abandoned ship platform. When they got there, it was extremely congested, and there was no indication of whether it might be safe to jump or not. Two members of the team jumped first. When they emerged, they looked back and waved at the team. The next member jumped, but he didn't come out and wave. Right after he jumped in, 5 more people leaped in at once, right on top of him. The one and only monitor on the obstacle had her back to the water and wasn't regulating the jumpers at all. The young man who jumped in and never came out, that was my client, Alejandro Desafios. When his teammates noticed that he was missing, they screamed his name and pointed back at the pit. One teammate even shook the monitor and pleaded with her to call for help. When the lifeguards and monitor finally got into action, instead of leaping into the water to look for Mr. Desafios, they began head count to see if anyone was really missing. Took too long searching the water, and took too long starting life-saving measures. Unfortunately, it was too late. Alejandro Desafios, a young man who had been expecting a good, fun time, was brain dead. Today, the plaintiff will be calling 3 witnesses to satisfy his burden of proof. Our first witness is Tori Damon. She will testify to the crowded chaos on the Storm Chase course. Our second witness is DJ Hadgett. DJ Hadgett is the executive director of NORA, the National Obstacle Racing Association. He will tell you how there were too many obstacles packed into one course for it to be safe. Our third and final witness today is Lindsay Rogers. Lindsay Rogers is a doctor who went on a tour of the course before the event began. He will tell you how he saw that the water at the abandoned ship was extremely dangerous, with it being at a dangerous temperature and depth, but was ignored by Storm Chase. The defendant's choices spelled doom for my client. That is why we are confident that when you hear all of the evidence in today's case, you will find Storm Chase LLC liable for the death of Alejandro Desafios. Thank you.
The defense may proceed with opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I have a moment to set the phone?
Yes.
Your Honor, may I move to see the defense?
You may.
May I proceed?
You may.
May it please the court, opposing counsel, Your Honors. Today, the plaintiff has the burden to prove, by preponderance of the evidence, that the Storm Chase LLC was negligent regarding the death of Alejandro de Cifios on October 24th, 2015. We are confident that they will be unable to meet this burden. Applicable Iowa law and jury instructions will be discussed in our closing argument. As this trial is bifurcated, the only issue that we will be discussing today is negligence. Throughout the course of today's trial, we believe that the evidence will show that Storm Chase holds in the highest regard the safety and well-being of all participants. Today, the defense will call 3 witnesses to illustrate that claim: Devin Cody, Dr. Izzy Cameron, and the founder of Storm Chase, Chris McLean. Your Honor, after hearing the testimonies of these 3 witnesses, we believe a reasonable person would find that Storm Chase did everything in their power to keep their patrons safe because they were serious about safety. On behalf of Storm Chase, my team and I would like to express our deepest condolences to the family of Mr. de Cifios. However, Storm Chase should not be held accountable for his death. You'll hear that Mr. de Cifios knowingly participated in an activity that he understood was potentially dangerous, and that the Storm Chase team took every possible precaution to keep him safe. The first witness that the defense will call today is Devin Cody, a trained and experienced lifeguard and EMT who was working at the course on October 24th, 2015. We anticipate Devin will testify that the Storm Chase was fully staffed with lifeguards at obstacles reaching water at depth greater than 4 feet. We also anticipate Ms. Cody will testify that the Storm Chase was serious about safety by monitoring the health of all participants. We also expect Ms. Cody to testify that the Storm Chase responded quickly, efficiently, and effectively to the incident regarding Mr. de Cifios, and that the Storm Chase team did everything in their power to execute the best life-saving measures possible. Rather, the defense will illustrate that Alejandro's death was a direct result of his own negligent behavior because he wasn't serious about his own safety. The second witness that the defense will call today is Dr. Izzy Cameron, an experienced neuroscientist. We expect Dr. Cameron to testify that participants did not have to complete all the obstacles. We also anticipate Dr. Cameron will testify that Alejandro received a blow to the head on the cyclone obstacle, which might have ended another chaser's race, would they have been in that position. We also expect Dr. Cameron to testify that the Storm Chase was serious about safety by monitoring, educating, and preparing participants for the course. The third and final witness that the defense will call today is the founder of Storm Chase, Chris McLean. We anticipate Ms. McLean will explain about her history with her company and with obstacle course racing. We also believe Ms. McLean will testimony will show that although there is no way to eliminate risk entirely from these types of courses, Storm Chase works to ensure the safety of all staff and participants. Your Honors, today the plaintiff will make many attempts to convince you that Storm Chase was responsible for the death of Alejandro de Cifios. While hearing their case, remember that Storm Chase was serious about safety. The plaintiff must prove, by preponderance of the evidence, that the Storm Chase was negligent regarding the death of Alejandro de Cifios. That is why we, the defense, ask that you find that the Storm Chase was not a proximate cause in the death of Alejandro de Cifios.